Hey, I am with Darcy from Darcy Doodle Quilts, and she is going to tell us a little bit about herself and her shop today. So, hey, Darcy, how are you doing?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm good. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your shop?
Sure. I'm Darcy Hunter, and my shop name is Darcy Doodle Quilts. I'm a textile artist, which means I use fibers in my work, and I create wall hangings with fabric, with thread, anything I can get my hands on, tulle, lace, and found items such as seashells and things. And I put it all into my work to make wall hangings and journals and pendants. I make little pendants as well, and postcards. And I also carry art prints of my work so that if people want, a little something small to send someone, to send some love, especially at these times, they can buy a little card and send it off to whoever they like.
That's awesome. How long have you been doing this?
I have been quilting probably since, well, before my kids were born. So probably almost 20 years, really. And I started out as a traditional quilter, but one time when I was part of a quilt guild, they brought in an art quilter. And as soon as I saw her things, I fell in love, and I said, I want to do that. I get online and tried to learn as much as I could about it, and I started.
So, can you tell us the difference between art quilting and traditional quilting?
Yeah, traditional quilting is you create blocks, and usually people that make traditional quilts, they're for your bed. They're very large. I've made very large quilts, and I did not enjoy it. And one of my first quilts was a queen size quilt, and it was a very difficult quilt. I'm surprised I even continued because it took a long time. But once I started getting smaller, I was really excited about branching my love of art. So I have always been a maker. I've always created something. I dabbled in painting and different things. So this kind of bridged that love with quilting, so I could create art with fabric.
That's awesome. So, how long have you had your shop for?
I opened my shop in 2014. I was part of a quilt show at a local hotel in Mactaquac. It was called Riverside Resort. And when I had just started making art quilts at that time, and the manager's wife asked me to put some pieces in this hotel, and actually ended up opening a shop there. They just recently closed with the pandemic, but so I had a brick and mortar shop there. And at the same time, a really good friend of mine, she had a vintage shop on Etsy. She was on her maternity leave, and she had started a vintage shop, and she was telling me how great it was, and she was meeting lots of people online and selling her things. And why not? So I tried it, and it was really slow at first. Like, I didn't make a lot of sales, but in the last year, I've really grown a lot, and I'm trying to do everything I can to get more online sales, because local is getting more difficult. I still sell local, but with every show being canceled and all that, it's nice that Etsy has been my savior, really, to help me sell.
That's awesome. Can you tell us then about a really great customer experience you've had?
Oh, I've had so many. Everybody's so kind and always compliments my work, and I haven't had any bad experiences. One experience that really sticks out to me is it was a commission. This lady contacted me from Toronto, and she wanted me to make a quilt for her daughter, and it was a bed quilt, but it was more of an art quilt as well. And what she wanted was 2 swans and a sunset behind. And I asked her, as I got to know her and talked about what she wanted, and tried to bring it to life for her. She told me that her husband had passed away. And I can't even say it, but the 2 swans, you know how swans mate for life? She wanted to be able to tell the story to her daughter with this quilt, that her husband had passed away, and just tell the story of them to her daughter with that quilt. So it was really, really, a labor of love. And wow. I was honored to do it.
What a great story, like to be part of your story and being in their story. That's a really, really cool thing, and to think of in the future, like that's something she's always going to have.
Right,
So
right. And that's why I love doing what I do. I put something of myself into whatever I make, and I hope that it stirs someone's soul or makes them excited about something that I make that is special to them.
That's really, really neat. Can you tell us the farthest or like the coolest place you've shipped?
I was looking at that this morning. I was looking online to see, oh, where have I shipped? And I have sold my art quilt patterns. I do PDFs, so digital downloads, and I've sold those to Hong Kong and Australia and the UK, as well as Canada and the US. As far as physical items, it's been mostly Canada and US, and I've sold a little bit to the UK, but I'm hoping to grow that as I learn a little bit more about Canada Post and how to send it in the best way. You know what I mean? And yeah, I figure out how to do it. Yeah.
But so being from Atlantic Canada, tell us how that inspires your work.
Well, we live in a beautiful place. It's not hard. We live in a beautiful place. I love getting outside and hiking and snowshoeing, and we'd always take our dog out for a run. And every time we go, I'm always taking my camera wherever we go. I take my camera or my phone so that I can snap some photos, and I use those photos as inspiration for my work. When I come back to my studio, I usually go through my pictures and maybe keep them for later and create something from that. So a lot of my work is because I live in the Maritimes and what I've seen and what I've done. Yeah.
Awesome. So can you tell us about a maker that really inspires you?
When I first started art quilting, I met a lady. Her name is Lois McDonald Layden, and she owns Tuckmore Wildcrafts. Mm-hmm. She is a needle felter, and she has the same love of nature that I do. A lot of her work is nature inspired, and we became friends. I was seeing her at shows every once in a while, and we actually managed to shop together in Harvey for a little while, and she was part of my shop at the hotel at Riverside Resort. I've always loved her things, and I've bought some stuff from her. I do maybe too many things. So I really, really love her work, and she's successful on Etsy as well as she's been in galleries and everything. So I look up to her because I'm hoping to get there someday.
She has some really, really beautiful pieces. I'm glad
she does.
Up. Yeah. What's your favorite part about being a maker?
Well, it's a very calming thing for me. I can be in the worst mood, or I can be anxious about something or stressed, and I enter my studio and it all goes away. It's very meditative for me. So if I'm having a bad day, I know I can go into my studio and everything will look better.
That's really great. And you can see that in your work, because your work is very calming and fun. And I was at someone's house actually recently, and they had one of your prints on the wall.
Oh,
and
cool.
So it's kind of exciting to see.
Yeah, I love that.
So I want to know something really fun and interesting about you.
Okay. I was talking to my husband this morning. I said, so what can I say? Well, there's one story that really comes to light. When I first met Glenn, we've been together for just over 10 years. And when our relationship first started, we went away to Dominican. And we were just getting to know each other. We didn't know each other very well. And I was telling him that I used to sing in church when I was a little girl. And I really did. I don't sing now, but I did back then. And so I was kind of building myself up, saying, I'm a great singer or whatever. And if there's a karaoke bar, we should go and I'll sing. And so I was building up my debut to him. So we went to this karaoke bar that night, and I chose, what was the song? Roxanne by the Police. And I got up there and I belted it out so loud and so awful. He was rolling on the floor laughing, like everybody was laughing, having a great time. So he always tells the kids about that story. So we went to Jamaica in February, and we were lucky enough to go before everything happened. And we took the kids, and they're teenagers now. Brady's 17 and Bryn's 14. And anyway, there was a karaoke bar. So they got to see my second rise to fame. And I was up there and everybody was cheering and everything. And the kids, they weren't too embarrassed, but they were a little bit embarrassed, but they were really good sports about it. So it was a lot of fun.
So much fun. I'm going to have that song now in my head.
I can sing it for you. No, I don't think it's a good idea.
Live.
Yeah, exactly. I need to warm up my voice a bit better to do that.
Where can we find you on social media if we want to hear some singing or buy some quilts?
I am on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I've started a YouTube channel. It's just started. I'm trying to do as well, get online with a website too. But right now it's Instagram, Facebook. You can look me up. I'm always posting my work or places I've been, like photos and my family and kids, of course, but mostly my business. And I love to hear from anyone. If anyone has something that they would like me to make, I love a challenge. So contact me and we can try to do we can put your idea to life, I guess.
That's so awesome. We're looking forward to seeing you in your shop. Thank you so much for doing this interview.
Thank you. And my shop name is Darcy Doodle Quilts on Instagram.
I'll link that in the video as well.
Yes.
So people
can
follow you. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Find me anywhere.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, thank you. It was nice talking to you.
Yes, you too.
Good luck on the show.